and welcome to Sheffield Hallam University Department of Art and Design. My name is Liz Noble and I'm the recruitment lead and one of the tutors. Today we're in the head post office, which is our home to our undergraduate and postgraduate courses, and we want to introduce you to some of our fantastic facilities and talented technical team.
So my name's Drew and I'm the fine metalwork technician. The bench room upstairs is where the students have taught sessions. They can also book bench spaces in there as well for self-directed learning. Once they're in there, they'll have access to these rooms so they can come down and use the workshop for any different processes like soldering, or if they need to use the lathes or any of the machinery down here. They'll get access to the hammer room as well, which is just across the corridor. If the students are up in the bench room, they'll have only hand tools up there, so there's not really any kind of mechanical processes up there. And they'll have a jewellery bench that they can sit at and they can saw their pieces of material or do whatever they need to do. Then they tend to bring it down here if they need to do anything like soldering. We've got the hearths over there. We've got presses and rolling mills down here. We've also got other soldering equipment behind me. We've got a big polishing machine, this lovely lathe here. We've got grinding equipment, drilling equipment and guillotines for cutting metal. So we've got quite a lot of equipment down here that we can use. We also have some equipment like investment casting, vacuum casting and laser welding equipment, which is normally used within industry rather than in somebody's personal workshop. But it's good for the students to get the opportunity to learn how to use those so that they understand the processes.
Hi, I'm Joe Haynes and I'm a workshop technician. So this is the post office main workshop. It's a general purpose room that supports all the courses to come in and use this for making and assembly. Around the outside of the room we've got your more industrial wood and plastic processing, pillar drills, sanders, bandsaws. We've then got bench space for the assembly and gluing up or smaller model making. We've got cleaner assembly spaces for card and paper maquettes, quick maquettes. We've got some extra metalwork and jewellery benches in here, and the 3D printers are starting to come into this workshop as well for student access also. We have supported sculptural stuff, we support furniture making, we've had sewing machines in here. We'll try and support pretty much anything that you can imagine you want to make. The skills that you would start to learn when you leave the university is that if you're going to set up your own practice, start making, being practical artist, sculpture, furniture maker, they're all directly relating. You are physically being hands-on. We don't run a sort of a bureau surface where you hand it over to us to make. We're going to give you the skills so that you can start making yourself.
My name's Lisa Batty and I'm a senior technician at fashion design over at HPO. We're in the fashion studios and it's mainly used for manufacturing and pattern cutting. We have lock stitch machines, overlockers. There's also fabric printer that we do have. We have the plotter, so we can plot out patterns. Yeah, the facilities are really good. The support that we give students, it's very hands-on and we're teaching them to manufacture on the machines and also pattern cut, how to put garments together. So it's a very wide spectrum of what we do. When they first start, it's really basic, getting to know how to pattern cut and manufacture. But then as they get into third years, they have to do a collection themselves of 6 looks normally, and one look could be anything from a coat, a shirt, trousers. So the things that they do create are absolutely amazing, and because of the facilities at the university, anything's achievable really. They'll be really familiar when they do go into industry with the machines and the cutting out facilities. So hopefully everything what we've got here is transferable into industry.
My name is Anna Wiggins. I'm a technician in digital workshops. This is the main digital workshop within the post office. So within here we have the laser cutting suite, and we also have the staff-operated large-scale industrial rapid prototypers or 3D printers. We have 6 laser cutters within here, which the students are able to book for short periods throughout the week. So with these machines you can cut plywood, you can cut plastic sheets, that's acrylic, you can cut cardboard. They're really versatile, so they cut as well as etch, so you can leave a really nice surface on them with a pattern or a drawings or lines or text or onto them as well. This room is student-led, so the students will come down in their self-directed time and they will use the facilities. So they can book them out, they can come down here, they can make experiments, they can make prototypes, they can make models or components for their work. The digital workshops are at the forefront of technology. So the laser cutters we've got and the 3D printers are the same kind of laser cutters and 3D printers that they will find in industry. So starting off, understanding how these machines work and being able to operate them and feel confident doing that is going to stand you in good stead once you graduate.
So my name is Mike McGowan and I'm a specialist technician for Sheffield Hallam. This is the Printmaking Centre, and down here we do all sorts of traditional printmaking processes like screen printing, etching and lino cut. So students come down here to use those processes for their projects. They'll also come down here to get advice on their projects and also to buy materials like paper and lino cutters, such the like. Sometimes there's taught sessions down here. And that's the main route that students would get access. So for a student to come down and use facilities there, they'll have to have an induction. And there's two ways that would happen. That would either be a timetabled lesson by their course, or they could come down and speak to us individually and have a face-to-face induction with a member of staff in whatever process they kind of fancied. And after they've had that induction, they understand how to use the process safely, how to use the equipment safely, then they can come in and book in with us and access it. Most popular equipment we have here is our screen printing equipment. So everything a student would need to make a screen print is contained in this room. They would use screen printing for a variety of applications like printing onto fabric, printing onto paper, printing onto MDF. Screen printing enables students to use more specialty inks like metallics, fluorescence and thermochromics, which will change with temperature. So they're pretty much the main reasons that students would use it, and we'd have every student within sort of art and design coming down to access and use that particular facility. Printmaking is quite an indirect type process. You'll have an idea and then you'll have to go through a few stages to get an outcome. And so students pick up a lot about planning, a lot about compromising in their design as well and how to make their design fit the process. They'll learn a lot of sort of subsidiary skills like mixing colours, dealing with paper, understanding materials. So they pick up quite a broad range of skills. It's almost like a foundation on which they can sort of then build.
So we are in the ceramics studio here in the post office. Obviously being ceramics, it's all clay based and we can support everything from traditional pottery throwing to industrial practices like slip casting with sculptural work and hand building. For teaching and learning, we have external lecturers come in with taught sessions, but 90% of this room is used for self-directed learning. So we support all courses from across the university and they can come into this space once they've had an induction and they'll be able to use it for whatever process they want to try and learn. Anything they learn in here is a direct skill that they'd be taking into industry, and I will try and get the students that want to do that doing as much as possible. So from their making, if they're producing enough work, they can get to the point where they're loading kilns. So I don't want to take any skills away from them, but also with the processes that we've got, for example, slip casting is an industrial process. So although we do it on a very small scale, it is directly representative to bringing into industry. So the skills directly correlate to what happens externally.